and welcome back to the Inventors Arena. I'm Ed, and this is Scott as always. And today we're going to be discussing a real fun topic, best Shark Tank deals. Scott, take it away.
One of our favorite things, right, is to watch Shark Tanks. We are big fans of Shark Tank. We're not affiliated at all with Shark Tanks, but we do watch them all the time. And we encourage inventors to watch Shark Tank as well, because you can learn a lot about one specific thing, that is how to pitch to investors to get a win-win situation. Mm-hmm. And that's what everybody is looking for, is that win-win. So if nothing else, think about it as you have something in mind that you're looking for. The investor has something in mind that they're looking for. It's going to take some negotiations along the way, and you both are going to be happy at a win-win in the end. And it would make us happy if you could like and subscribe to our videos, where we talk about win-win situations and investors throughout our series here.
Yeah, everything invention related.
Absolutely, yes. So we look at deals from a very close-knit, detailed area, just like investors would. And so do the Shark Tanks, the sharks on Shark Tanks. They are looking for very specific things that kind of match their style and their level and areas of expertise. And we're going to talk about two specific episodes today. So Ed, why don't you start us off with the first one?
Yeah, very good. So like Scott mentioned, we're looking for win-win deals and ones that we feel that you can learn a lot from. So we would encourage you to watch all the episodes we mentioned on this channel, as they're great for learning and they're fun. The Breathometer was a small device that plugged into an audio jack of a smartphone, coupled with a dedicated app that reads the user's blood alcohol content. So the founder, Charles Yim, originally asked for $250,000 for 10% equity. The Sharks countered with their combined offer collectively of $1 million investment from all five Sharks for a 30% stake in the company. The deal went from $250K to $1 million, and the equity went from 10% to 30%. Very interesting how things can change with the right message, and all parties were happy in the end with a win-win.
Yeah, and I think it's important when you go into a meeting with an investor that you also look at it as you may not get exactly what you want, and there's going to be some negotiation in the room. And you mentioned, they were looking for 10% and to give up 10% and ended up giving 30%. And as an inventor, you may very well do that and still have a win-win if the situation is right.
Yeah, and actually in the program, we teach you in that negotiation stage that you should be flexible. We're going to have you set for a range, but generally they might come in with something that's like, we've got this great value add for you to make almost for sure a success, because we've got blah, blah, blah happening, or we've got this resource or whatever. And so it's like, wow, then all of a sudden this changes. So we try to make it so that you can roll on the fly with it really good, like they happened in that episode.
Yeah, it's important to do that. And our next example is one that's going to show that. Previously we've talked about Scrub Daddy and Bombas, the sock company, and their deal was a little bit different that they came out with, and they both were very successful with that coming to market. Today we're going to talk about Cousins Maine Lobster that presented. And when they went into the meeting, they were pitching and looking for $55,000 for 5% equity into their business. And Barbara Corcoran kind of related to what they were talking about, but she had a little bit different twist. And she said, I think that we could franchise this and make this a franchise business and make a lot more money. And in exchange, though, I want 15% of the business instead of 5%, because I'm changing the business model to a franchise model. And right now, where you have one truck, we're going to expand to 50 trucks, and we're going to make a lot of money doing that.
But bam, 50 trucks.
Yeah, that's what you're
just
looking
like
for.
That. That's easy. Yeah, that was good. And you can see how the investors are thinking on the fly too, right? They've got that sophistication, the experience, and most of the time they're hearing it for the first time. So they're kind of like not knowing your product as good as you can. Then you give them that really great pitch and they're like, wow. And then they see, we can make 50. You're thinking 5, we're thinking 50.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So next, let's cover the BeatBox beverages. I think that one's a cool one too. So BeatBox Beverages has become a massive success since its appearance on Shark Tank, and it turned Mark Cuban's $1 million investment into a huge win. The company lifetime revenue is over $350 million, with 2023 sales exceeding $200 million. They are now available in thousands of stores nationwide, including major chains like 7-Eleven and Walmart, and they've expanded their product offerings and their manufacturing. Those are good things.
That's the kind of deal you're looking for, right? As an inventor and an investor, that is the opportunity that you're looking for. So, yeah, the best deal for an inventor, entrepreneur often depends on the specific business goals that they have, and we always suggest everybody start with their goal in mind at first. Know what success looks like and then work backwards into that. And then also realizing that the investor, in this case, shark investor, they have their mindset of what they're looking for, and they can bring their expertise into your ideas to help make that a success for that win-win that you're looking for.
Yeah, that way both parties win, right? That's excellent. Yeah. So what was your favorite deal of all time on Shark Tank? We'd like to reach out to ask you, our audience, and please let us know in the comments section which deal, and take a few words and just explain why. We always like to get your input, and it's very interesting for us. And we like to take kind of the best of what we get from our input and then deliver it to you. So we love that. And thank you for that, by the way. We'd love reading your thoughts and your comments. Scott and we love to teach interactively, and this is our way of doing this online. That way, it helps us to help you. The more that we know each other, the better.
Yeah, so to kind of wrap up today's discussion, I think deals need to be a win-win, and both parties need to come into the initial discussions with, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. And collectively, we will get there depending on how the negotiations go. And it always comes down to a series of negotiations. But oftentimes, as the inventor, you have to make the first pitch. So you have to know your audience. You have to know that investor and what they're looking for. And I think you can see that when you watch Shark Tank episodes. You know, some are looking for equity, others like to franchise, some like to do royalty payments, and everybody has a different way of what win-win means to them. So if you can figure that out with your audience before you go in the room, your chances of reaching a win-win go up dramatically.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's Barbara specifically that you're going to be talking to, or maybe it's Mark or whoever. You're going to have different investors by name, but you're going to see that, you know, this one really likes robotics, or this one really likes a service offering or whatever.
Yeah. And you'll see them, they'll come in and say, you know, this specifically is for you, Mark. You know, they have designed their pitch for sometimes one particular investor in mind. Of course, they'll do a relationship with anybody that can help them get to where they want to be. But, you know, knowing your audience is very important in this situation to get a win-win situation.
Yeah, absolutely. You really want to learn towards success too. That's why we're talking about the Shark Tank. And there's also the Dragon's Den. There's different local events that happen and all that. But these are ones that everybody's kind of got access to, and look them up on YouTube or whatever. So, like as we said before, we think it's really fun watching the Shark Tank episodes, and we like to point you in directions that say, well, there's quite a bit to learn from that one or this one. And again, we're not affiliated with Shark Tank, but we love the shows. We love the content. Kudos to them. We love to analyze and learn, and hope that you can too.
And we share that knowledge with everybody that we learn, right, through our channel here. So, yeah, if you have an invention and an idea, we invite you to go to the inventorsarena.com. We have a complete program there to help you go from concept to cash, to monetize your idea. And it starts at the very beginning and helps work you all the way through. If you are in a local area where there's an inventor group, we encourage you to join and participate as much as possible. We've found an enormous amount of value in inventors groups, and Ed and I have gone around and we've attended some, and we've presented at some, and we see that those are a great place for innovation.
Yeah, and you can book onto some of those. Obviously, you can attend live. for most of them. And then some of them you can even go onto Zoom and do different things like that. And also, if you feel like making a comment to us, let us know if you'd like an online inventors group, because we're really thinking strongly on doing that. We'd like some good feedback from you, the audience, to see if that's something that you'd like, especially for people that are remote or whatever. And it's always all kinds of good knowledge that comes through there. Access to mentors, there's all kinds of stuff. It's no end to what you get for benefit. That's why we preach it out so much.
Yeah, absolutely. We also appreciate if you like and subscribe to our videos here. That helps us a lot in the algorithms, and we appreciate the contributions. We love our audience out there and the ideas that they suggest. We appreciate that. We give you a thumbs up. We hope you will give us a thumbs up, and go be the best inventor that you can be, your best you.
The Inventors Arena, we're here.